Hogan, we coming for you, nigga.
I was gonna say you got that fresh cut though.
No, not yet. Tomorrow.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna say it looked like it.
Tomorrow.
So I cut my own hair, but I just get lazy. So I was like, whatever.
Do it myself.
Well, yeah, I was like, quarantine was just an excuse. Well, it was all good. I was like, at first I was like, you know what? I'm a stand in solidarity with my brothers that can't, get into the barbershops and whatnot. And I ain't gonna cut my hair either. But then we went to do that. Well, we didn't go nowhere. We did my wife's colleague or somebody else in the architecture field basically does porch shoots, like socially distanced, like porch photo shoots. She live in the neighborhood too.
Right.
So it was like, hey man, we do want to take some pictures in front of the crib. And I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and get that line in. Let's go ahead and hit that lining up.
Go ahead and line this up real quick.
Let me get that out the way because, I don't want to be looking terrible in these pictures. And it was funny, though, because one person, shout out to the guy on the couch. It's like, wait a
minute, the guy on the couch?
The guy on the couch. Like, if you've seen the movie Half Baked, it's just like that. Like one of my good homies, Chris, when we lived in Columbia, and, Columbia was just a whirlwind of partying and bullshit. But 1 week, I show up. I think I had graduated. I was working at Anheuser-Busch. When I come back, I would drop off beer every now and then. I show up at the homie's crib, and I just see this guy sleeping on the couch, and I'm like, oh, well, okay, he must be one of the homies. Okay, cool. So we kicked it with him all weekend. This dude brought over he had his PS3 at the time. He brought his PS3 over to the crib. He just over there playing. And just like in the movie Half Baked, we had a moment where we like, hey man, tell your boy, hey, go get your boy so we can go. And Cass like, that ain't my boy. Like, ain't that your boy? Nah, that ain't my boy. Well, whose boy is this?
Whose man is this?
And from that point on, my dude was the guy on the couch. You know what I'm saying? So the guy hit me up when we took the photo shoot. He was just like, hey, nigga, I'm calling the police on you. You got a haircut. I was like, nah, man. I legit, I was like scared of that Rona, scared of the repercussions of that Rona. I legit took a picture of my clippers and liners. Like, nah, dog. And holding them up next to me like, nah, man, these mine. I did this myself.
Okay, so this reminds me. So I don't have a fresh haircut, but this explains to me what I was going to talk to you about in this cold open.
Uh-oh.
So I had to work with my regional director this week.
Oh man,
I was looking crazy. So I had to do something. And as you all know, if you're in the state of Missouri, if you're near the St. Louis metropolitan area at the time, my St. Louis County has started to open up.
Yeah.
But certain barbershops aren't open yet. And my barbershop didn't open until this week. And I was already penciled in for Friday. I couldn't get in on Tuesday because that's when I work with my regional director.
Yeah.
So I had to go around St. Charles just to find a barbershop.
Oh, man.
I found a barbershop. So the guy, I saw somebody walk out, right? Like it was like around 5 o'clock. And I saw somebody walk out and it looked like it was a decent job. So I was like, all right, I just getting a haircut. It ain't gonna hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I say, hey man, I'm about to. Can you cut one more? He's like, yeah, it's fine. I'll go ahead and cut one more. I'm like, all right, cool. So I had to go. He didn't take cash. Debit card. So I had to go run to an ATM, get some cash, and come back. So I'm thinking it's about to be just like just a typical experience of getting a haircut. I'm not gonna say the name of this establishment. For the sake of this podcast, we're gonna call this Super Ultra Mega Pro Haircuts. So at Super Ultra Mega Pro Haircuts, there was this one cat that's in there, and Ray, this dude was forceful as hell, bro. Like he's moving around all over the chair, moving, like he's not telling me to move. He just like doing that and like sitting me up on the back and stuff. And like I'm like, dude, I'm low key trying not to get mad because he doing me a favor. But this motherfucker is moving me around like I'm some little child. So like I'm eventually really starting to really get mad. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm like, dude, and then he cut my damn hair. Oh, that's why I'm wearing this damn hat. My damn fucking bob is all lopsided and shit.
Oh no!
Like, for real. It's all, I look crazy as hell, man. Like, dude, like you moving me around and everything like that. Dude, dude. And then talking about some, that'll be $40. Come back and holler at me. I ain't coming back to see you. Come back and holler at me. Learn how to be a little more gentle on the damn cut. I'm not saying, treat me like a damn chick, but damn, don't be throwing me around. Like, tell me what to do. Don't just move. Like, dog, he's straight up moving me like I'm crazy, bro. No, man. No. Do not go to Super Ultra Mega Pro Haircuts in St. Charles. I can't. I'm not establishing it out there. But no Super Ultra Mega Pro Haircuts.
Because apparently, much like Rated R shirt right now, he gonna take your ass to Suplex City.
Straight to Suplex City, man. And then, and then see, on top of that, see, that's the other thing. Bro, and then the music the dude was playing, he was playing like all like chicks songs, bro. So I'm thinking this dude from the motherfucking penitentiary. Nah, bro. Ain't no Felice Johnson over here, dog. I like you. I know it's my ass. Nah, we not doing that. Not up in here. Not up in here.
We take what we want, and after we take Lex Luger and the Giant, we want the gold, sucker. Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, nigga. For you, nigga. For you, nigga.
We take what we want. We the realest in the business. We want the gold, sucker.
Hulk Hogan,
we coming for you, nigga. We take what we want. We the realest in the business. We want the gold, sucker.
Hulk Hogan,
we coming for you, no. We take what we want. We the realest in the business. We want the gold, sucker.
Hulk Hogan,
we coming for you, no. We take what we want. We the realest in the business. We want the gold, sucker.
Hulk Hogan,
we coming for you, no. Coming for you, no. Shit. Heard no podcast like this. Black dudes with a knack for wrestling. They ain't gotta act cool. They that never bashful. And they mass dudes get a show and act a fool on it. Talk smack then, put the whole groove on it. Fueled by shots and bruise your ass is doomed the award if you want it. Lifelong fans with an honest mission. Get mania ticks without a mission. Nothing but a press pass. This barbershop talk with the best last. Bless that we rambling on ain't you listen. No, we know we got a couple of screws missing. Now who with the two dudes with the cool vision? And we coming for you, nigga.
This is uncalled for.
This Number 81 after the week coming for you, Cass.
He said, when I see one and his haircut look good to me.
Nope. He's not doing that. Nah,
nope. He said, I ain't got no milks, no cookies, no nothing.
Nothing. No, man. Take it easy on the damn chair, man. I know you doing me a favor, but damn, talking about some come back and holler at me. Nah, bro. Rated R will not be back there. I'm going down the street where I was supposed to go.
Super Ultra Mega Pro haircuts. You don't know. Don't go there. Don't go there. We will send out a bad Yelp review of Super Ultra Mega Pro haircuts.
Yeah, you know what? I probably should have looked on there first, and then probably would have saw like, yeah, this dude's forceful as hell.
Well, I mean, I guess that's part of it though. Like you gotta know that if he opened during the quarantine or just like at the tail end of it, he the first one open, it's just like, hey man, it might be something wrong. It might be something.
Online.
Oh man. Well, welcome back to another edition of the We Coming For You cast. I am RVS. You can find me online at Franchice06. That's FRANCHICE06. And we got my partner, my homeboy, my best friend, co-host right here. Tell him who you is.
I am ROD, aka Rated R. You can find me on all social media platforms at R_TED_R.
Yes, sir, man. So we're coming back with another edition, man. We really wish that it was under much better circumstances, but Oh man, we gotta start it out on kind of a bad note. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially for our show, we're pro wrestling from a black dude's perspective. But this is, the next news. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have heard about it. Even people that aren't familiar with pro wrestling, they've heard about this news, and it hits us a little bit different, man. Because being black pro wrestling fans, but then also kicking it in circles with black pro wrestlers and stuff like that, man. Like. It was really tough, but we got to start out by saying rest in peace to the late, the great Shad Gaspard, formerly of the Crime, well, not formerly of the Crime Time tag team, but formerly of WWE in the Crime Time tag team with his tag team partner JTG. Man, it's real rough, man. He was,
yeah, like you said, it definitely hit different. This one hurt. Me and RBS here have kicked it with this guy at least the last 5 manias that we went to, and I remember personally having a conversation with Shad, just getting a beer. I can't really recall what the conversation was, but tomorrow's not guaranteed, y'all. Like,
nah,
it's not. It's not. You here today, and you going tomorrow. Like Jim Ross likes to use a quote all the time, and that's maximize your minutes in this thing called life, because you never know when you checking out, man. This dude was getting checked out on an act of heroism, saving his son.
Yep,
drowning, man. I don't know what you could possibly say to that. Like, I hate that happened to him. I'm gonna miss him. Like, literally, we're not BSing you here. Like, for real, we straight kicked it with this dude, him and JTG. And I wish you was able, RBS, to come to that MLS show that was in Orlando, because that's when that's when I took that picture with him and Wale and MVP, and shout outs to pwrshow.com for setting up that and Kevin Nash for setting up the platform, shenanigans parties, because that's how we met Shad. And rest in peace to him. Condolences to the Gaspard family. It's tragic, and you'll be missed, man, for real. It's not, if a shenanigans party is not going to be the same without you, bro. Like, it's not, man. I don't know what else to say to that, man. I literally was kind of hurt from that, for real.
Oh man, it definitely hurt. I mean, even hearing the news of his son and himself, at the beach, and they were swimming, and even hearing the news of when he went missing, and told the rescuers to save his son first. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like we were like best friends or anything, but just from the limited interactions that we had with this dude, like, that was 100% his character right there. Like, hey, don't worry about me. Make sure my son is safe. And I know a lot of people, I'm not a father, at this point, but I would think that, as a father, man, that's like your paramount thing on the front of your mind is just like, make sure my kids are safe. Yeah. And, just to know him, like, for me, the first time I met him the year after Orlando, but we were at the shenanigans party. And you walked in. I mean, the dude was 6'5", like 300 pounds, but super approachable. And like, even then, I walked right up to him and dapped him, like, "Hey, brother, hey, what's going on?" And it was kind of funny because like when I dapped him up, he was like, "Oh, what's up, man?" And you can kind of see him pause, like, "Wait a minute, should I know this dude?" And I was just like, nah, but I was just like, yeah, man, I'm a big fan. And then it clicked, like, oh, what's up, man? Okay, cool, it's all good. And we sat there and rapped for a minute, like, it's one of those things where I will say this about pro wrestlers, man. I think that it contributes to my fandom of pro wrestling, and it contributes to my continuance of following the business. Is that, there's that old saying, like, don't meet your heroes, right? I ain't met one pro wrestler yet where that was true.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I have not met one yet. And, you know, I don't know. Maybe that says more about me. Maybe that says more about them. I don't know. I can't call it. But what I will say is Shad was definitely, you know, everything that everybody's saying he is right now. You know, it sucks that it's a eulogy thing, but we've seen just with all the other wrestlers that he's, you know, the black wrestlers that he hang out with, like it was truly one of those experiences, like I talked about at Mizzou and stuff like that, where the black community in pro wrestling is so small, and they're very, very tight knit. Right. So they all ride for each other. They all, you know, it's a fraternity, if you will. It's just like myself and Rated R. We know about that very well. So when you lose one of your own, man, that's rough. I even reflect, you know, just you know, one of my frat brother's birthdays was a couple of days ago, and he passed away, you know, 4 years ago now. And it's just like, yeah, shout out to Spank, man. Like, you know, just thinking about those times that you share with those people, man, it's like it's really tough to lose them. But I'm thankful for the fact that we have a lot of content from Shad. The content of like Crime Time and all that. And one thing we gotta remember, man, that brother was like 20 years old when they first made it to WWE. You know what I'm saying? This is not a old brother at all. Like, he was young when he left us, but he left, like, he was able to leave us with so much entertainment and so much stuff like that. So I just really hope that going forward we can remember that. And just, I mean, remember the act of heroism. Like, that wasn't the only one. He stopped the armed robbery like months ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is just that's just who that brother was, man. So definitely rest in peace. Shout out to him. Shout out to the Gaspard family. Prayers and condolences go to y'all. Prayers and condolences go to the whole pro wrestling community, to the whole pro wrestling family, the black pro wrestling community, all that, bro.
Yep. Yeah, man. Yeah, like you said, the whole wrestling community. JTG, keep your head up, man. That's your dear homeboy on the road. That's like one of us, God forbid something happened, you know.
Right,
so,
right.
MVP, keep your head up. Just the whole keep your head up. And again, thoughts prayers to the Gaspard family, man. That guy was a solid dude. Like RBS said, like I'm not gonna pretend that we were best friends or something like that, you know, but just the interactions that we had was pretty personable, and it was good times. So just remember the good times. You know, you got to leave behind a wife and a son. And just remember the good time. I can only imagine, you know, what you're dealing with. Like, I was watching the Dark Side of the Ring with the Owen Hart thing, and that hurt. You know, watching that too. So
yeah.
Again, maximize your minutes, y'all. To live every day like it's your last. You just never know. You never know.
Nah, yeah, and that's, you know, I think that, like what you were saying, like one of the lessons learned from stuff like this is just like, don't be afraid to live your life. You know what I'm saying? Don't be afraid to live your life to the fullest. I mean, that's what that brother was doing. That's what Shad was doing with his son. They were living their life to the fullest. They were out enjoying the earth, enjoying the ocean and stuff like that, man. Like, don't let stuff like this, you know, like prevent you from doing those type of things at the same time. Like, if we learn anything, man, just like go for it. Like, Shad was also, I mean, post pro wrestling, man, he was in Black Panther. He was like one of the stunt people in Black Panther. Rated R, you just shared this on Twitter, but they molded the body of the main character from God of War. From God of War, man. Yeah. Like, you know, this brother was branching out. He was also podcasting. That was another thing. He was podcasting with at the Wrestling Classic on Instagram. You know, he was getting out there and doing things in so many different areas. So that's one thing. If you got something that you want to go after that. Like, do it right now.
A good tribute video out there. Dave Bautista put something out there too that was really emotional and really good. I invite all y'all to look at that. Listen to what Bautista had to say about him. It was pretty telling. Kind of on the same things that we're saying. Live your dreams, man. Go for it. Live your life. That's all I got. Rest in peace, Shad, man. We're gonna miss you.
Rest in peace, bro. Like, Take a drink to you, brother. All right. So I feel like the only way we could counter that is with, talking about, new life. So this past week, I guess 2 weeks since we've been on, there was a big announcement from WWE, well, I guess former WWE Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch on Raw. So she came out on Raw and announced that her and her fiance Seth Rollins are expecting a baby.
Yep.
Yeah. So
shooting the club up. What do I want to call them? Seth shooting the club up Rollins. You want to talk about burn it down? Damn, man. All right, we get it.
Shout out to the brothers at Straight Out Low Cash, man. They call it hashtag Team Leave It In.
Yeah, that's what he did. That's what he did.
If you are familiar with that.
Okay, so check this out. Like, did you kind of notice the emotions from Becky Lynch? Like, she looked like she was, joyed about the occasion. She also looked like she knows that she's about to be on the shelf for at least a year, if not more.
Yeah.
And you can kind of see that. Like, her career right now is just getting snatched away. And I forgot what other podcast I was listening to, but they say back in the old days, like the women, you didn't hear about them they didn't get pregnant. They didn't. Whatever they did, they wasn't getting pregnant. They were working, but things are different now. We hear several wrestlers who get women who get pregnant and they take time off. I think it's a good thing, Becky. I think she's left her mark enough with Vince and WWE to establish her role in that company, and I don't think her spot is going to be taken or given to someone else. I don't. Just put in the work, do what you got to do, put in the work, and come back stronger than ever. Trish, look at how Trish Stratus looks. Look at how Michelle McCool looks. Look, these women have had children, and they're still living their dream. Don't worry about it, Becky. You can be all right. You can be fine, for real.
Yeah. I think this is also just one of those. This is going to be a linchpin moment for the women's evolution in pro wrestling. Because, like you said, back in the day, you didn't hear about women getting pregnant until they left the road or left the business. I think, though, this is part of, if you really want like women's wrestling to mean something, you got to show examples of the complete agency of women, and that's the agency to leave the business, to have children, if that's what they so choose, to have children and come back. I'll give one example of how this didn't shake out well. Awesome Kong, known as Karma in WWE, right? Now, if you follow her career since then, she's in AEW as a semi-retired wrestler, but she's also got this role in Glow, which if you haven't seen Glow, that's a dope show. Dope show about pro wrestling.
On Netflix. If you are a wrestling fan, watch it.
Yes, if you're not a wrestling fan, watch it, because it gives you some inside baseball on wrestling that's pretty accurate, and they got a bunch of wrestlers behind the scenes too helping them out. But when Kong was in WWE, she found out she was pregnant and did the same thing, made an announcement. However, she miscarried, which also is a thing that happens, in pregnancies and stuff like that. But but WWE's reaction to it after that was, she didn't feel comfortable with talking about the miscarriage and stuff like that. So when she came back, they basically made her out to be like she was crazy. You know what I'm saying? They made her out to be like, oh, well, she said she was having a baby. She came back without a baby. It's like, nigga, that shit happened. Like, what are you talking about? Right. Like shit like that happens, and she should be able to come back to her place of employment. Even if she don't want to talk about it, she shouldn't have to explain it or have the place of employment treat her like she's like insane because this thing happened to her. Like, right. So I hope that well, God forbid anything like that happens to Becky Lynch, but I think this will be a moment in time where we look back and be like, oh, okay, is WWE really about women's evolution shit, or are they just talking shit?
Right. Well, another thing too, that's probably in her head. She knows who she reports to, and this motherfucker what hits when he can't control his sneezes. So I can see how she can possibly definitely be like, damn, I'm not gonna lose. I get it. We know Becky, we know what you're working with. We understand that.
That is very true. That is very true. We talk. He don't like people sneezing. He'll sit there and eat steak in a meeting while you sit there not eating nothing. He eating a whole steak in front of you. It's just oh, that's some good shit. Like that, yeah. When you're dealing with that motherfucker, that's a wild card for sure. That's for real, for real.
Yes, sir. Be all right, Becky.
Well, on that note, there might not be only one person that don't like this whole thing.
Uh-oh.
So, Jim Cornette punk ass.
Oh shit.
Now, so Becky Lynch comes out, she makes the announcement that she's pregnant, but Jim Cornette's I don't like pro wrestling. I like pro wrestling as it was in the 60s, motherfucker. That nigga, he got something slick to say. Right?
When don't he have something slick to say? The only time, man, I was looking at the comments on YouTube because I was watching the Dark Side of Wrestling on YouTube.
Yeah.
The only time they said that man has showed any type of emotion without him getting mad was on that Owen Hart documentary. Like he almost broke down. Like I couldn't believe it either. I was like, wow, this man has emotions.
Yeah, right. But that's the thing. He only has emotions when it comes to wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Like we were talking about some of the fans last episode, but like Jim Cornette is one of those people that's in the business.
Right.
Like, it's totally one thing to be a fan, but it's totally another thing to just be like, all right, here's this moment in time that I need to hold on to. I can't watch the business evolve. I can't watch it do anything. I like it exactly how it was when I was a kid. And, some of you motherfuckers that listen to music, y'all, kind of same thing. Anyway. Anyway, so Seth Rollins was in an interview recently, and Rollins shared his excitement on social media, sharing a picture of Lynch when they found out she was pregnant. However, Jim Cornette was critical of the news. Cornette said that Lynch should have waited to get pregnant because she's making so much money right now.
Oh, God. What the fuck?
Cornette and Rollins worked together in Ring of Honor, and Rollins talked about the shock he felt when he heard Cornette's comments about his fiance Lynch. Seth Rollins says, and I quote, "Yeah, a little bit. And you know what? It actually came from one of the most unlikeliest sources. I don't really want to take too much time to get into it because I don't want to focus on it, but it hurt my feelings on a personal level because Jim Cornette is somebody who is a legend in our industry. And he's someone that I personally work with at Ring of Honor. And for him to come out and say some more negative things, some real misogynist things about women in general and pregnancy and the industry, it kind of caught me off guard. And it made me lose a lot of respect for someone who a lot of people already kind of lost respect for." And I was still holding on hope that somewhere along the line there was a personal connection between Jim and I, that he would think twice before making some egregious comments about women, especially my wife. I can't even forgive them. That's what Seth Rollins said. Man, what you think about Jim Cornette?
Jim Cornette is a senile old some bitch. You can't tell somebody when it's time for them to have a child. That is not I don't give a damn if your mama, your dad, can't nobody. Now, if you 16 years old in high school, okay, yeah, I get that. But once you get a certain age, you don't have the right. You can give your opinion, but you don't have the right to tell someone when they should have a child. And not only that, you pocket watching, talking about you need to make more money or you that's none of your fucking business.
Right.
If Seth wanted to shoot the club up, which is what he did, he can freely do so, especially if that's his wife. You can't tell the man what he need to be doing with his wife, especially talking about their pockets. Who is you?
Right. We talk about what Jay-Z say. What's better than a billionaire? Two, nigga. Two. Right. That baby's gonna have two multi-millionaire parents. And it don't matter. Yeah, it don't matter if she's not making money at this moment. Nigga, she's made money. She's main event at WrestleMania. She's won the main event at WrestleMania. Like, bruh,
nigga,
fuck out of there.
She's still gonna be making money in that hospital room. She did like with merch. She's still getting paid.
Yeah.
And action figure and all other residuals she getting. I ain't trying to hear Jim Cornette. Just stay to your podcast and let everybody else do what they want to do. You shoot your old ass raggedy club up that you got at home and you care about somebody else's.
He said, "You better knock the cobwebs off of that motherfucker." Oh man. Could you imagine? Hold on, wait, talk about. Could you imagine? I'm assuming Jim Cornette's married, right? Could you imagine? yeah. Here you go. That's the combo meter going up. Could you imagine Jim Cornette ass coming home being like, "Well, baby, I'm back off the road. Let's have some sex."
No. No.
That's what she sound like too. She no. Hell no. Oh. All right, man. We gotta move off that. We gotta get up that before. Oh well, this next one might bring our combo meter up some more.
Oh.
So talking about one more wrestler that we've met and somewhat got cool with on the road, but Mark Henry. Now Mark Henry ain't the one in the wrong. Henry ain't the one in the wrong. Before we get there, because Mark Henry good dude.
No.
However, and this makes me mad because I'm a fan of this dude and he's almost can't get right. But Lio Rush.
No, that's John Jones. But go ahead.
That's right. Yeah, you're right. John Jones can't get right, but Lio Rush and Mark Henry got into a huge Twitter beef this past week, man. Like,
yeah,
I'm pretty sure you've heard of this already. But so Mark Henry was talking about it. And he was just basically talking about before Lio Rush got fired from WWE. He tried to pull him aside, tried to give him some game. This, that, and third. Apparently, there were issues with money. He was just like, "Yo, hey man, like, let me holler at you, brother." Lio Rush starts popping off at the mouth.
Right.
He basically like, "Look, I got an album out." Apparently, so Lio Rush got a rap album out. Apparently, he made a diss song about Mark Henry too. Oh. Now I don't know what song it was. So I ain't listened to the album yet, but apparently he dissed Mark Henry in a song. Because Mark Henry tried to pull him aside, give him some game, and tell him how to stay in fucking WWE. Stay making that money. Not making that SoundCloud rapper money.
SoundCloud rapper.
Like Big Boy said, you can't feed your baby with making that SoundCloud rapper money. It ain't sufficient.
You can't. So, two things. One, Lio, what's going on, man? Like, I understand. Yeah, you got furloughed. I get that. If you didn't get released, I understand that. Like, why take it out on the Hall of Fame now? I guess just be a little bit older about it. Like, yeah. I'm not here to judge anybody because you can't do that. If maybe it was something that what we heard what was said, if that rubbed him the wrong way, so be it. Yep. I just feel like don't go public with it. It's not doing anything but hurting you in a negative. Like if you're trying to get established in another wrestling company, whose side is another wrestler going to take on sides? They're going to take yours or they're going to take Mark Henry? Let's really do the math there. Like, just all I'm saying is just be smart about it. That's it. Number 2. Here, let me get in close so he can understand what I'm saying. Leo, Mark Henry is every bit of 375, 380.5 repeating pounds. And you got a diss track against this month. You every bit of $175, 80, something like that. You was in 205 live. Mark Henry eats chicken wings that weighs about as much as you do. I don't think that's you're not winning that, bro. That's a L. That's a game 6. Michael Jordan, 2 seconds left, shooting a free throw shot on Utah. L. You will get your ass handed to you. Pick a battle with somebody on your own size, unless you got a gun. But you gonna get locked up doing it. Leave Mark Henry alone, man. That's some smoke. That's some smoke you don't want.
Oh shit! Hey, that's real though. Like, nigga, that's an ass whooping.
That's a guaranteed 100% ass whoop. You know, like, okay, what's something that's guaranteed? Like what's a guarantee that you buy? That's something that's guaranteed that's gonna work.
If Domino's don't deliver your pizza in 30 minutes, it's free.
Yeah, if you poke with that, if Domino's don't deliver, that's the same establishment. If you pick a fight with Mark Henry, you gonna lose. The average motherfucker, the above average motherfucker, the B+ motherfucker with the extra credit will get his ass whooped by Mark Henry.
That's real, man. Like, I don't understand. You kind of hit the nail on the head when you said, man, hey, you got some growing up to do. It's like we gotta remember Lio Rush is like 22. He's a young boy out here, so he don't quite understand, and he's acting like one of these young boys out here. Like, he's calling out Mark Henry on Twitter. Now, Mark Henry said something about, like, somebody asked him a question, what's up with you and Lio Rush? He said, yo, ain't nothing on Lio Rush. I just try to pull him aside, give him some game. He ain't want to listen to me. Fine. That's one of the OGs. Like, that's another thing when you talk about deference and you talk about, you know, just how we live as black men and just as men in general, but you don't disrespect the OGs. You don't. If an OG pull you...
Especially not one that is done what you're trying to do.
Exactly. Yeah. And if an OG pull you aside and try to give you some game, man, you listen to the OG. Now, you might not like what they're saying. Right. You might not like what they're saying, and you might not immediately jump on it. But there's gonna be, I'm gonna say that to Lio Rush too, man. There's gonna be a moment where you sit back and think about this. You're gonna be like, damn, Mark was right, man.
Yep.
Fuck. Damn, I should have listened to his ass. Mm-hmm. But it don't even stop there.
Oh.
So we talk about you know, his ass whooping and all that, but Lio Rush pulled Mark Henry black card in the whole thing.
What did this nigga say?
This nigga said, so he was talking about Mark Henry. Mark Henry even gave him the out. Lio Rush was like tweeting about him, this, that, and the third. Mark Henry said, yo, I just DM'd you my number. Call me right now. Let's talk about this. He was like, nah, man. Nah, I ain't gonna tell you. And he tweets, and I quote, and this is why African-American talent on the biggest platform will continue to not have equal opportunity, because people like you constantly tear your own people down. A damn shame, honestly.
So he threw an olive branch trying to de-escalate the situation like a man.
Yep.
And you turn it down and you go once again back on social. Dude, okay. So we are. So if you do a Google search on the classification of ages and generations, me and RBS here technically are technically classified as the millennials. Okay. Mm-hmm. However, we were at the cusp of the Generation X, and we both know the the background and the work ethic that it takes to get what you need done, and as far as that respect for elders. I mean, we can both agree to that. You know, yeah, we're adults now, we can make our own decisions, but at the same time, we understand what an elder would have to say as far as helping you.
Yep.
Sometimes I just feel like social media is a way that people are just being just sissified, you know, like this dude is trying to fix the situation. Yeah, y'all might say some verbal things, but at the end of the day, he's trying to fix it. And you know what? And I'm gonna give Lio Rush benefit of the doubt, like what you just said. It might come to a point where he realized that, damn, you know, maybe I messed up. Let me talk. It's gonna hit him. I don't think he's that naive of a person or ignorant of a person at all. I really don't. I think like he has a smart head on his social. Now his track record is starting to get a little, but I'm still giving him benefit of the doubt, because again, I don't judge anyone else. I can't judge what that man's has had done to him in his background, in his past, that may relate to why he's acting this certain way. You can't judge that.
Right.
But at the same token, Mark Henry's not going to do anything to try to see your downfall. He's done. He wants to see more black people succeed. I'm sure he does. I'm sure he wants to see more blacks in the industry. All black wrestlers do, you know.
Mark Henry mentioned that he talked to TMZ about this whole thing, and he said that of the like 25 to 30, African American people at the Performance Center, he recruited 80% of them. So it's like, and Lio Rush even had something to say about that. It was like, well, I wasn't one of them people that you tried to bring in. It's like, bro, like he tried to keep you though. Like he pulled you aside. And I'll say this, man. I feel like, Lio Rush is in that new class of new nigga. And I will say that he is a purveyor of new niggerism.
New niggerization.
New niggerization. You know what I'm saying? So that's what got him on this path, is all that new niggerization. Yeah. And him calling out the OGs and basically being like, ha ha ha, go check out my album, nigga. Listen. I don't even know if you got bars like that, but your bars ain't dope enough for you to, be out here getting your ass whooped by a nigga that's 4 times your size. 4
times your size.
4 times your size.
4 of you. 4 Lio Rushes.
Listen, when we met Mark Henry, I ain't gonna tell you where, but just that when we met Mark Henry is G14 classified. However, I was so glad that this brother was as nice as he is, because he could have snapped his fingers and beat up we had 4 people with us, and we wasn't as big as him. If we stood side to side, we wasn't as big as him.
We all would have taken the 3-26 Super Bowl comeback, New England Patriots, Atlanta L. That's what it would have been. That's the exact equivalent. We probably would have got the upper hand for about 2 quarters. Then after that shit over with. Done.
You're just seeing niggas' shoes hanging from the rafters of the place that we can't tell you where we was at.
That's it. No, we get G14 classified. We can't. No. Get our Patreon, and you'll probably find out.
All right. So speaking of shoes flying all over the place,
okay.
AEW just unveiled a line of footwear.
Get out of what company?
So if you, I'm gonna read the thing for Pro Wrestling Sheet. It says, if you
ever Carmelones, is it not?
Oh, bro! Wait. It's gonna be Apex.
Wait. So okay, I'm telling you about our childhood. So do you remember when we had that conversation and I just randomly named? I was like, yeah. We was talking about shoes. It's like, yeah, man, what basketball player shoes we not wear? I'm like, man, I'm not getting no damn. Karl Malone had a shoe. Karl Malone shoes be made by a company like, I don't know, Apex. I was just named a random, and long behold, Ray, we went on Google, and the motherfucker literally have shoes called the Karl Malones from a company named Apex.
How could you guess that Karl Malone, of all people, has shoes by a company named Apex?
I have no idea. I literally just threw a name. I don't even know why the word Apex came to my mind. I didn't even know Apex was a shoemaker. I had no idea. I didn't know Karl Malone had a shoe. And that's my frat brother, and I'm talking bad about him.
Hey, man, if anybody has some shoes made by Apex, it's Karl Malone ass. But Shop AEW unveiled a new line of shoes on Friday featuring designs inspired by Chris Jericho, Jon Moxley, Inner Circle, Matt Hardy, Darby Allin, Jurassic Express, and Orange Cassidy. Here we go. The line made by Super Kicks High Tops.
No.
Super Kicks High Tops.
Who? Keep it 100, Conan. Who?
Super Kicks High Tops.
Man, time out. Okay, so time out. No. Nigga, come on, man. You know, this was an LLC these motherfuckers, the Young Bucks, just made, right?
Yeah, I was about to say, I was looking it up just now. It has to be whatever the Young Bucks just made.
I know good and goddamn well I ain't went to Foot Locker, Foot Action, Payless, or Finish Line and saw some Super Kick Apexes.
Super Kicks. Hold on, wait. Hey, since we on video, this is how we just gonna have to look at this. We just gonna have to take a look see at Super Kicks. Hold on, let me move that out the way.
They are super. Yep.
Super Kicks. So our new shit. So it's made by Pro Wrestling Tees. So that's how you know the Young Bucks just made that shit up. But yeah, let's see what we got here. So we got the Jurassic Expresses, the Jurassic Parks right here. They got Tama Tonga. They got New Japan in here too. What's up with that? Hold on, wait a minute, time out.
Hey, low key.
Hey, the Bullet Clubs kind of go hard though. I ain't gonna lie to you. The Bullet Clubs kind of go hard.
Hey, I'm sitting here talking about the Bullet Clubs go hard.
Hey, the Bullet Clubs kind of go hard. I ain't gonna even lie. I'm mad they $125, but the Bullet
right, and they more expensive than all the rest of them. You see that?
Yeah.
You niggas pay them much for Jordans. Why don't we make you do 125?
Come on, man.
Them niggas said, you know what? New Japan said, you better bring me my money.
Hell no. Okay, so they kind of look like Chucks. All right, I ain't mad. The design is cool.
Yeah, the design cool. Design cool.
Shoes. They not no Apexes.
No, they're not no Apex. They got some Guerreros. They got some Marty Skrull, some Roddy Pipers. Yeah, ain't too bad.
The Bullet Clubs go hard though.
Hey, the Bullet Club. I ain't gonna lie.
I ain't gonna lie. Kind of go hard.
I ain't gonna your front. Oh man. So we're gonna bring it back to St. Louis a little bit, man. So news just broke that the XFL asked STL to reinstate its lease agreement. Mm-hmm. So with that, you know what that means? XFL might be coming back, but it might have a different owner.
Oh, who might be the owner?
Get ready for this.
I thought the owner would be Vince McMahon again. I heard the dude got declared bankruptcy so he could buy it.
Yes, exactly. Yes, the owner is going to be Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon might own a company that he just owned and put into bankruptcy again.
Can you do that? Hey, any CPAs out there, man, email us at, put it down here, and we coming for you, cast@gmail.com. Can you declare bankruptcy and rebuy your business?
Hey, that's the question of the week. Can you declare bankruptcy and rebuy your business with a BIDNESS? Because this don't make no sense to us. Like, what?
It What kind of tax ramifications are you gonna get for that? I know you about to get that 8, 9, 12% penalty or some bullshit that you gonna get.
Well, but I think what he did. This is why he made Alpha Entertainment in the first place. Was just like, look, if this shit fail again, then I could close it down and then parlay into owning the shit again.
He gonna buy it under WWE.
Right.
Buy it under WWE. This is 2 different LLCs.
Right. No, he gonna buy it under Vince McMahon LLC. McMahon Enterprise. Hell, he might even buy it under Titan Sports.
He might.
He might just resurrect them.
Yeah. No.
So
Smart.
So you're talking about it. It said in response to XFL parent company Alpha Entertainment's proposal to repay $3.5 million in season ticket refunds, a Delaware bankruptcy court committee said this is an unnecessary expenditure designed to buttress the debtor's argument and that an abbreviated sales process is required and being sought to further efforts to the debtor's controlling equity / secured lender, Vince McMahon, to acquire the debtor at a fire sale price. You right. That's exactly what he doing.
Dude, Vince is probably one of the smartest dudes around when it comes to money, man. I just heard, and it can be kind of a scumbag in a way. So I'm listening again. This is coming from that dark side of wrestling when they talked about Owen Hart. Did you know that this motherfucker, when Owen Hart's wife was about to sue him in the company, that he wanted the court case to be taken care of in Connecticut versus Missouri because of some different laws and ramifications when it came down to the case? Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that. I haven't watched the Dark Side of the Ring yet. I just started it.
He wanted that whole case to move to Connecticut for whatever reason possible. It was a money reason why. This man just died for you, bro. And you telling the wife wants some type of his wife didn't care about because they settled for $18 million. But his wife didn't want she didn't care about the money. She wanted to see Vince go to jail. That's what she wanted.
I believe it. I believe it.
And by the way, IWC, that Owen Hart going into the WWE Hall of Fame, y'all can kill that shit now. That shit ain't happening. It's over and done with. Don't even talk about it. I don't want to hear it no more on a podcast or whatever you do. IWC, Owen Hart is not going into the WWE Hall of Fame. In the discussion. His wife don't want him going in the Hall of Fame, and his son and his daughter do not want him going in the Hall of Fame. That shit is not happening. That if Chris Benoit ain't going in there and Owen Hart ain't even. It ain't happening.
Right. And I'm glad you mentioned that, because in other news, Martha Hart just told CBS that Owen Hart ain't going in the Hall of Fame.
If CBS put that as a headline verbatim, and I quote, Owen Hart ain't going in the Hall of Fame, I would be okay with it. I would be just fine. like I heard it. It's just like here in St. Louis. I remember Riverfront Times, they put out an article where they said, in St. Louis County it's about to open up. Who are the dumbasses that are about to go into these stores? They literally said that.
Hey, shout out to the Riverfront Times, man. Y'all is more the reckless, ignorant motherfuckers in journalism, and I appreciate it.
I'll read that over the St. Louis Post-Dispatch.
100%. But what Martha Hart actually did say, it's actually not that far away. So apparently CBS asked her, would she be open to Owen Hart going into the WWE Hall of Fame? She says, and I quote, nope, never. Their Hall of Fame, they don't even have a Hall of Fame. Right. It doesn't exist. Yep. There's nothing. It's a fake entity. There's nothing real or tangible. It's just an event that they have to make money. They celebrate on TV, and it's ridiculous.
Yep.
Unquote.
Yep. She's 100% correct. It is an imaginary building. It doesn't exist. It's Santa Claus, Easter Bunny, the Tooth Fairy, WWE Hall of Fame. They all in the same house.
The Boogeyman.
Well.
Well, not the black Boogeyman. Not the black wrestler Boogeyman. The other Boogeyman. The Loch Ness Monster. Bigfoot. and Sasquatch. Bigfoot and Sasquatch separately. Yes. They both Harry and the Hendersons.
Yep.
Nigga.
They rent a 5-family flat on the north side. Then they watch Netflix and eat steak all day long.
They live on the north side of Imagination Land from South Park.
Don't exist.
So it's interesting because I found these two news stories back to back, but Martha Hart and what she feels about the Hall of Fame is exactly how friend of the show Scott Steiner feels about the Hall of Fame. Scott Steiner says, and I quote, "Can you go someplace and say that it's legit when it doesn't exist? How can you say it's legit? It defies all odds. You cannot have a Hall of Fame if you can't visit. It's the creation of someone's mind. It boggles my mind that people care about being in the Hall of Fame when it doesn't exist. Would you go to a grocery store but it has no food?" It's such a freaking joke that it drives me crazy. I don't give a fuck. The Hall of Fame doesn't exist. You can't visit it. I'm so sick of talking about it because it's so stupid. People take it so seriously. Some guys really want to mark out for themselves and think about how great it is. It's freaking fake. It doesn't exist. It's crazy. He's still talking. Scott Steiner's still talking. Like, this is still a quote, a full quote from Scott Steiner. It's crazy. People ask me that question all the time, but I give the same answer all the time. It doesn't exist. You might as well put the Hall of Fame on the moon. It's the exact same shit. You're never gonna go to the moon to visit the Hall of Fame. I don't care if it was on Earth, you wouldn't visit it either. Unquote.
Oh God, Scott Steiner. Scott Steiner is one of the most epic people that can give you a quote or a promo ever. If they would have did Scott Steiner a program with Scott Steiner and Brock Lesnar, could you imagine how the promos would have been?
Wait a minute, who did Scott Steiner fight? No, that was Triple H when he was feuding with Triple H and they lifted weights in the middle of the ring. Remember that?
He talking about some. They had a weightlifting contest. He talking about some. Yeah, let's go ahead and start this off. Hey, put 610 on the bench press. You start with 610? Damn. Why are you starting? Starting with we are warming up with 610 pounds.
But for why?
Why?
For why? 610. What? How many weights do you want to lift, Scott? How many weights do you want to lift? Do you want to lift all the weights?
Oh, you want the whole rack.
Ain't nobody else lift no weights in the gym because you lifting all the weights, Scott.
What told us that hell no, I ain't putting no damn 610 on there. You know how long it's gonna take me to put all these 45-pound dumbbells in this damn bar? You better put some damn 610 on there your damn self and lift it. Got me out here doing it. Got like I'm 185 pounds. You want me to poke a 345-pound bear? What's up, Lio Rush? Hey!
Well, speaking of poking a bear, so the Undertaker has come out with, the WWE has come out with The Last Ride, a series of TV shows about the Undertaker, originally about him about to retire in 2017, but seeing as that hasn't happened, they basically followed him around with cameras since then. And we've gotten some looks at the Undertaker that we've never seen before. Like this dude, this is the dude who kept kayfabe for 30 years. Yep. 30 years for a character. He was the dead man Undertaker. So much so that when he talks, I just listened to him. He did 2 hours on Bill Simmons, and I'm like, yo, is this the Undertaker talk? Like what? He just a regular dude. Like right. He just a regular ass dude. Like it still blows my mind. But on the poking the bear note, apparently people have been putting out rumors that the Undertaker is afraid of cucumbers.
The man don't want to eat no damn cucumbers. I don't like tomatoes when I'm afraid of a tomato. These motherfuckers on this damn internet. What is wrong with y'all? The man don't like cucumbers. He don't want to eat cucumbers. I don't like tomatoes. I don't like avocado. Fuck guacamole.
No, rated R. This just in. Rated R from the We Come For You cast is scared of avocado. He's scared of guacamole and tomatoes, which guacamole ain't nothing but avocados and tomatoes together. So if you get him some guacamole, he gonna be scared. He gonna run away.
Oh shit, guacamole. Guacamole. Oh, guacamole. Ooh.
Oh shit. This is one of the most ridiculous stories I've ever seen, and I had to share it on the show just because of how ridiculous this is. I'm like, wait a minute.
Who said this? Was it fans from where? Because you know what I'm getting to.
Let's see if they actually say what it is. But Undertaker joined Cat and PFT commentator on a recent episode of Pardon My Take. They talked about the current Last Ride docuseries and the Undertaker's WrestleMania streak. One of the things about the Undertaker's as well as his iconic interests and the length of his interests. So he talks about that. He talks about basically like he would have a longer entrance when he knew that the match he was about to have wasn't gonna be shit. so
that John Cena match, it took this nigga every bit of 25 minutes to get to the ring.
Right. Yeah. When she talks about that in the docuseries, he was basically like, that was the year he got in shape. And he was like, yo, I'm ready to do 25 minutes. And before he walked out, they was like, you got 5 minutes. Hurry up. He's like, fuck. So he just walk. You know how when your mama used to ask you to do some chores, you just start walking slow? And you just like, walking. That's what Undertaker was doing. So they talked to the Undertaker and they asked him about a rumor. They didn't say where it was from, but a rumor of that he was afraid of cucumbers. He said, all right, let's get this straight. I'm not scared of cucumbers. I just don't like cucumbers.
Yeah, you don't like cucumbers.
He said, look, if you bring a cucumber into the room,
you might get your ass beat.
Yeah, right. He's like, you might get your ass beat. He's like, if I get up and leave, I ain't gonna run. If they're a hole, that's one thing. But if you cut them shits up, I'm gonna beat your ass.
Who the fuck said Undertaker afraid of the dead man? Afraid of cucumbers? 7'1", 300 and some odd pounds. And this man afraid, like he one of them people. You remember them episodes of the old what's that the talk show? Not Jimmy, not Jerry, not Jerry Springer.
Maury Povich.
Rachel, what was it? Rachel.
Are you talking about Ricky Lake?
Ricky Lake.
Yeah, Ricky Lake.
You remember the episodes where they would have people just be afraid of just random shit? Like somebody was afraid of cotton, and they would get up and run away.
Oh shit!
They was petrified of some damn cotton. So you mean to tell me that's what Undertaker gonna run out of the room? Somebody was afraid of fur.
So I'll let's say, since they didn't say who said Undertaker was afraid of cucumbers, who do you think said Undertaker was afraid of cucumbers?
Ryan Satin.
Ryan Satin, the pro wrestler sheet,
or Dave Meltzer. Undertaker's afraid of cucumbers. Headline: he's afraid.
Brian Alvarez.
Brian Alvarez, one of them three, the unholy trinity of the dirt sheets. And speaking of the Undertaker, do you have any more news stories?
No, I think that's all I got for so far.
Well, that's a perfect segue with Undertaker to jump into the You Can't Spell Wrestling with our STL segment. And
yes, sir.
We're going to discuss a few things with Mark Calloway in St. Louis. He does not have good luck here in St. Louis. He doesn't.
Damn, you're right. He don't. Damn.
He doesn't have good luck here.
Hey, yeah, rated R. Break it down how he has pretty bad luck here.
Yeah, he has very bad luck here, specifically in regards to his interests, okay? The first entrance I want to bring up there, I might need to Google this, but I want to give you guys exacts. This was when I think it was an Elimination Chamber that was in.
Yeah, it was Elimination Chamber. Yep.
Give me that was in 2010. Okay, this was the Elimination Chamber, which was also known as No Way Out. In Germany. Oh yeah. They call it No Way Out in Germany.
Oh, you know why? Why? Because Chamber,
yeah.
We go. I'm not going. It's
filled up. That did it.
It's getting there. It's getting there. Shoryuken.
Yep. So they had an Elimination Chamber match here in where is it? There was the match. I believe the Undertaker was in this Elimination Chamber match. Well, prior to him coming out to the ring, said dumbass who had his button on the pyro decides to light those big ass 30-foot flames that the Undertaker comes out to. Well, his ass decides to press the button when the Undertaker's right under one. And proceeds to light his ass on fire. We just talked about how slow the Undertaker walks to the ring. Nigga, I ain't never seen the Undertaker walk that fast in my life. That nigga ran a 4.240 getting to that
ring. He did not take his time going to that ring.
Gone.
And he ran. We were there.
We were there.
He ran, threw his jacket off because his jacket was the thing that caught on fire. Yeah. Threw that jacket off and hopped in the Elimination Chamber pod. And all the referees came out. They were just handing him bottles of water. Now, the messed up part was they had no buckets.
Just bottled waters.
They couldn't fill up no bucket. This man had just caught on fire. He got burns on his body. They couldn't.
3 burns.
They couldn't get him damn bucket. They got him 85 individual bottles of water to wrench himself off. When he caught on fire.
So, I mean, that's a testament to how tough Mark Calloway is, man. This dude was set on fire and finished the match. Like, that was in his entrance. So he finished the match.
He started the match after that. The match hadn't even begun. He caught on fire, and then he got into that. Not only that, but it's an Elimination Chamber match. So if you're not familiar, the Elimination Chamber starts out with 2 people in the ring. Every so often, they open up a pod, and the next person come in. But it's in this big-ass cage that surrounds the ring. You can't – it surrounds the outside of the ring, so you can't hit the floor. So not only did he start this match, but he stood there in this pod, and he wasn't any of the first few people that came out. He stood there in this pod, smoldering, and then wrestled.
Dude, this dude was like, that one side of the pork steak that be on the grill, and then you got to flip that motherfucker over. That was the Undertaker.
He was a well done pork steak that day.
He was a well done pork steak with extra Greek seasoning, and it was marinated in beer.
He was that pork steak that when you put a little dash of lemon butter with dill on your steak and the butter part crust. That's what Undertaker was.
That was event number 1. Event number 2.
Oh.
Like again with bad luck in St. Louis, Mr. Undertaker, Mr. Art Calloway. I believe this was Raw 1000. Again, in his interest, Undertaker, he liked to come out with that whole dark, I'm a die, Rona, die shit. He had the little spikes on his jacket. And the goddamn jacket, his jacket wouldn't come off. He's sitting here trying to yank it off. He was literally trying to take his jacket off for 5 minutes. And that happened here in St. Louis. Undertaker, stay away from St. Louis, man. Like, with the shit that's going on right now, don't come here no more. Just stay in Texas or wherever the fuck. If it's one city that Vince asks you to go and he say, yeah, Enterprise, don't just nope. I can't. I gotta go. I don't know. help my wife out with her OnlyFans. I can't do that right now. I'm not saying she don't have OnlyFans. Let me stop.
Hey, he gonna come after you. That was some more of that meter. You know when Undertaker perusing Instagram and he gonna come across that SOLC network. The SOLC network link.
Mark, these are jokes. This is funny. I know your wife isn't on OnlyFans. I'm not saying that. No, these is jokes. I was funny. Do not whoop my ass. I am not Lio Rush. I'm not stupid. See, I'm a apologize. This motherfucking Lio Rush crazy. I'm sorry. I shouldn't even said that. You know what? Edit that shit.
So in other news. Oh man!
Yep, that has been the wrestling and STL, because you can't spell wrestling without STL segment. Undertaker has bad luck in St. Louis. Don't come here no more.
Just don't
go to Collinsville. St. Charles. But under no circumstances, do not cross county. Do not cross county lines. Do not, if you are in St. Charles, do not bring your ass on the other side of 270, because something will happen to you.
Also, Mark Calloway, don't take your ass to Super Ultra Mega Pro haircuts in St. Charles either, because they will fuck your shit up.
Literally, that like how you did in WrestleMania when you fought Triple H in Hell in a Cell with that mohawk. That was trash. You know damn well your barber took that one guard too goddamn far all the way on the back. And then they ain't put no fade in there, none of that shit. That shit was it was skinned in this hair. Where was the fucking definition? There was no fade. There was no texture. You couldn't put the jam. Like shout out to Luster Silk if they still out there with the pink oil moisturizer. You couldn't put no pink oil moisturizer in there.
That'll be $40. Holler at me.
Come holler at me. Those were people. Those were two things that you didn't think you were going to hear today: pink hair oil moisturizer and the Undertaker
in the same sentence.
At the "We Coming for You" cast.
You will only find that here. Only. Nowhere else. And if you find it anywhere else, they got it from us.
Yes. Quit biting off our stuff, Peter Rosenberg. Boy, if some of the people we say actually find our shit on Twitter, we in trouble.
They're gonna be mad. They're gonna be big mad.
We got heat with. Well, I have heat with Roman Reigns now.
Yeah.
These is jokes. The Undertaker, Peter Rosenberg. Who else? That it?
I think that's it for now. Maybe now. Tessa Blanchard might hate your ass too.
Tessa Blanchard did that shit to herself. We got that from Jim Cornette. No, she did that shit. And that was that. I'm sorry, Tessa. That sound like you taking the shit. That was her, man. I'm sorry.
Well, we got it. Without further ado, we just gonna go right into it. It's that special time of the podcast when we give out an illustrious, a very vainglorious award.
Vainglorious. What is it called, RBS?
It is called the John Jones's Freedom Memorial Award.
Explain to the wonderful people out here in podcast land, how do you get this illustrious award?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Rated R. So you get this award by acting like John Jones out here in these streets. Now, we call it the John Jones's Freedom Memorial Award.
I was going to say, explain why it has been recrested. It was originally called the You Fucked Up, You Know Your Ass Is Doomed Award. It's now called the John Jones's Memorial Freedom Award. Explain how that happened.
Well, it happened because John Jones went through exemplary measures to ensure that he is no longer free, that he is caught up in the system because he would be out here doing dumb shit like getting a DUI in the middle of a quarantine.
Where's Conspiracy Brother when we need him?
We need to get Akbar X in here and talk about the conspiracy that is John Jones losing his freedom.
Brother when we need him.
We'll have to bring Conspiracy Brother on one of these shows just to talk about that. But just like John Jones, who does not want his freedom to live and to progress, who wants to go to jail, we highlight a very special person or entity that has been
or multiple people.
Or multiple people, yes. We did a whole state last episode. The whole state of Maryland won this award last episode.
And it wasn't even their fault. It was some shit that happened in Texas.
But if y'all here in these streets messing up a pro wrestling, you get this illustrious John Jones's Freedom Memorial Award.
Who's on the docket this week, sir?
So on the docket this week, shout out to Daryl for actually sending this one through. But there is a wrestling company called Combat Zone Wrestling.
Oh no! What did
that gets the award this week?
What the hell did they do? Combat Zone Wrestling? What
yes.
did they do? So
Combat Zone Pro Wrestling is based in the East Coast, and it is the self-proclaimed ultra-violent pro wrestling company. So they the ones that if you see anybody, like if you remember like the people fighting in the backyard and smashing light tubes over each other's heads and using barbed wire and shit, they do that. They still do that. Backyard wrestling was 2002. It's 2020. They still doing that shit.
Okay.
So Combat Zone Wrestling. So apparently they have been releasing a line of pay-per-views with some of their classic quote-unquote content in it. So, a lot of their matches, they're one called Wrestling's Worst Injuries.
Okay.
Another one called Hard Hitting Action. Well, they have rebranded a few pay-per-views involving their women called the CZW Girls with a Z at the end. With pay-per-view titles that resemble softcore porn.
What? Wait a minute. If it was ever an apropos time to use Zoom, no, we're not doing that.
oh no, we're gonna do this. This is my work computer. So, Combat Zone Wrestling, aka CZW, has composed several best of pay-per-views available for sale under new branding that has caused controversy among their talent, with names like, get this, Top Heavy and Tough.
Top Heavy and Tough?
Top Heavy and Tough.
Go on.
All Assets revealed. No, let me say this right. All Assets revealed.
Okay. Keep going.
And one more that they revealed, Hot Sweaty Combat.
You can't say that. You can't say that. Nah, bro. You can't. Nope. You can't. Nope. No, you can't do that.
Hot Sweaty Combat.
No. Combat Zone. You can't say these crazy ass names and think you can get away with it. You know, people think athletic commissions think wrestling is a shoot. You can't be, but definitely you can't be calling all this damn xvideo.com names. You can't be doing that. Come on, man.
So there's controversy about it, and some of the rightfully so women wrestlers that not even work with Combat Zone anymore, that have worked with Combat Zone that appear on the DVDs have tweeted about it. So Kimberly tweeted, and I'm certain I never signed an agreement giving you the right to sell my intellectual property, nor any of the women you're blatantly disrespecting, or how you told us that you wouldn't book us if you wouldn't fuck us.
You can't do that.
You can't do that either.
Can't do that.
Combat Zone, right? You can't do that either.
No, you can't do that. I believe that's prostitution. Can't do that.
So Jordan Grace tweeted, just so everyone is aware, there are many women already seeking lawyers about this as releases were not signed to authorize licensing footage for profit and distribution. She also tagged Kimberly's tweet, adding that the owner of CZW told them, I could fuck any of y'all anytime I want.
No, yeah. Your ass fucked it. Hey, what's his name?
So the owner of CZW is a wrestler by the name of DJ Hyde.
DJ Hyde, you are getting these illustrious. You are getting the collector's edition version of it, with the commemorative plaque with it as well too. He's definitely getting that.
He getting a commemorative plaque. He getting a commemorative cup.
Yeah.
He getting a commemorative cup with ether in it.
With ether, and it also comes with the $15 gas card to Quick Trip. Yeah, throw that in there. I mean, just for shits and giggles.
Congratulations, DJ Hyde and Combat Zone Wrestling, for winning the John Jones's Freedom Memorial Award.
But wait. There's more.
Uh-oh. Oh no! Who else winning the award? Who else we got?
Oh man, we're putting this in here, and this is kind of, since we're on SOLC network, it kind of goes along the lines of things that they probably have talked about in their latest episode. But there was a illustrious battle on Instagram this weekend with two legends, and I know this is not wrestling related, but this has to be addressed with this award because there's an entity and a person that is getting this award. So the battle was between Chris Ludacris Bridges versus Nelly, and with epic proportions. We thought this was going to be outstanding. It was going to be crazy. Nelly is getting this award. He's the number one person is getting for the one for his playlist. Ludacris was playing all bangers, knock you out bangers. And Nelly started playing some shit that motherfuckers have not listened to or heard to at all. No one.
I didn't know what he was talking about.
Create some of the shit that we was listening to has been better. Flat out. Here, if I got to tie wrestling into it, there. CFOs could have wrote a better song than some of these, especially that last song. Now, Grant, I know Nelly, and we're from St. Louis. That's my guy. That's my dude.
Yeah.
Shout out. Yeah, we support the Lou. But, sir, your playlist was trash. You put up against Ludacris? You know how many burners Ludacris got?
I meet that nigga named Luda, a.k.a. LBA, fuck that shit. That nigga. Nigga.
It was just some, you know what, damn it, we gonna go into detail with this.
Uh-oh.
Nelly. And since RBS is a music connoisseur, we're gonna get his full opinion on this as much as we can in this You Fucked Up, the John Jones Memorial Free. I'm gonna get to the second entity in a minute.
Man, so I didn't even watch it live. But I watched the basically like looked at Twitter and saw like all the songs that were coming up, and I was like, I tweeted, go to my Twitter account @franchise06. You'll see it. I said, wait, Nelly played what?
Right.
I was legit confused. Like, hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Against Ludacris.
Hold on.
Okay.
What are we doing right now?
We're gonna give our unofficial scorecard like HBO used to do in boxing in a minute. We're gonna run down this list, and you
got the Harold Letterman card.
Yeah, the Harold Letterman card. Okay. So they started off hot. It was Welcome to Atlanta versus where's Nelly? Where was Nelly at? Welcome to Atlanta versus 999. Okay, who you think won that one?
Man, I'm gonna say, I gotta say, Welcome to Atlanta, man. So
one round of Ludacris. All right.
Yep.
All right. Second round. Pussy Poppin' versus Tip Drill.
Tip Drill. No, come on.
You know
Come
what?
on,
Here, give me right so we can.
Oh. Yeah. So you can see the board. Hold on.
I know people. This is not wrestling related, but this has to be addressed. We're from St. Louis. This has to be addressed.
We got to do it. We got to do it right now.
Right now, this has to be addressed.
Let me say this on a personal note. So both videos were in the BET Uncut era of things, and that was like my college years. That was like the beginning of my college years. But when I tell you, the first time that I saw Tip Drill coming home from a party with a bag of McDonald's in hand, definitely still drunk, unrolling that bag, and the first time I heard, "Hey yo, this was my nigga DJ 618," and looking up like,
it doesn't get any better than that.
Come on, dog. Pussy Poppin'. It held its weight, but come on, dog. It wasn't Tip Drill.
Okay. So all right. So that was right. So we got 1-1. Okay. Second song, My Chick Bad from Ludacris versus Pimp Juice. I'm gonna give it to Pimp Juice.
I gotta give it to Pimp Juice. Gotta give it to Pimp Juice as well.
Yeah, consensus. We have 2-1. No, 2-1. No. Okay. That's round 4. Ho versus Flap Your Wings. I'm gonna go up.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought it was gonna be controversial because I was like, oh, you're doing whole activities with whole tendencies. Hoes are your friends, hoes are your enemies. Ain't no quotables like that at Flappy Wings.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not. Okay, so we got a 2-2.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Next round. Saturday versus Ride With Me.
Now this is a hard one.
That's tough.
This is a tough one, man. Like Saturday was a dope song. I feel like Ride With Me had a little bit more cultural impact. Like I can't remember what movie it was in, but it was like the ending credits of a movie, shit like that. I gotta go with Ride With Me as well.
We got 3-2. Okay. All right. So next round, What's Your Fantasy versus Country Grammar?
I got Country Grammar, man.
Country Grammar. Right.
Country Grammar, man. That's what put St. Louis on the map. That's the everybody dancing in the street on the north side, man. That's come on now.
All right, so 4-2. 4-2 Nelly. Okay, so Nelly's doing good right now. Okay. All right, so maybe it's played. I guess I don't know what happened towards the end. Something happened.
He was fucked up. That's what happened. He was on drugs. He was drunk. He was doing something.
He had a little red cup.
Yeah, he was doing something else. He was on lean. I don't know what it was.
So all right, next one, Roll Out versus Body on Me.
Nigga.
Roll out.
Nigga. Like, I knew Nelly was going to sneak in his ex-girlfriend joint. I understand. I get it. However, roll out. Nigga. Come on.
All right. So it was Lulu's coming back in the late rounds. What was it? It's 3-4? 3-4. Okay.
Yep.
Splash Waterfalls versus My Place. Splash with Jaheim. Splash Waterfalls.
Splash Waterfalls, nigga. Come on, man. Come on, man. You could have. So here's the thing. I'm like, okay, Splash Waterfalls. I feel like a better song for that could have maybe been Lovin' Me. Yeah. Now it's not on the same like the same topic, but it's kind of the same vibe. Yeah. Maybe you throw Lovin' Me in there and it's more competitive on that.
Right. Yeah. No, Waterfalls. Okay, so it's time. Is it 4-4 now?
Yeah.
This is where it hits the fan. Okay.
Oh God.
Ludacris with Sierra O versus Notorious B.I.G. Nelly Dilly and every sort of nasty girl. That's close.
It's not even the original Nasty Girl, nigga. Like I get, like Biggie wasn't here for that.
Okay. So I think this is where
I gotta go with O, man. Come on, bro.
Okay. So 5-4 Ludacris. Okay. Rock the Mic remix versus Made You Look remix. This one was okay. This one ain't go either way.
So I like what Nelly did here. I like the fact that he was going I think they were going feature for feature, and I like the fact that that was the joint where he called out KRS-One. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I like that, but Made You Look remix. I mean, if we going verse for verse, nigga, Ludacris had that shit.
Yeah, and Nas.
Yes, I mean it's not Jada. That's Jadakiss. Jadakiss is on that top 5 Dead or Alive. That's off 1 LP. Come on, bro.
Okay, next one.
Come on, man.
All right, so it was okay. So here we go. Was it 6-4? Okay.
Yep.
Nelly did 1,000 Stacks with B.I.G. and Diddy versus Jagged. Wait a minute.
That's out of order a little bit.
It's out of order now. Okay. Then we got Jagged Edge. That's Jagged Edge where the party at. And yeah, with Ludacris and Lil Jon and Usher. They're both getting played to this day at every black and white club right now.
That's
both
true. They really are.
Weddings, movies. Those are both mainstream ass songs to this day.
Yeah. But I gotta say it's tough. It's tough though. But I gotta say the Usher, Lil Jon, and Ludacris, that was a bigger record. It was so big that they made like 2 or 3 more songs together.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't want to, because I know you wrestling fans are probably get, hey, I forgot to throw. Okay, as you can see, okay, Grills versus Stand Up, Air Force Ones, Southern Hospitality. Because I'm from St. Louis, I'm gonna say Air Force Ones, but I know damn well Southern Hospitality is a dope ass song.
No comment.
Yeah, no comment. Shaky Tail Feather, Southern Hospitality. All I Do Is Win versus this is where it fucked up. Okay.
This is where it just goes off the rails.
All I Do Is Win, that's there versus Just a Dream murders it. Ludacris, Area Codes versus EI, Area Codes. Moneymaker versus Get Like Me, Moneymaker. See, it gets bad. Dilemma, he fought back with Dilemma, and then he fought back with the Jenna Jackson song too. What song was that?
That was Call on Me.
Call on Me, yeah.
Yeah.
And after that, Nelly, you started off hot. Then I don't know what happened, but Ludacris has a bunch of just bangers. Okay, that's number one. That's who's getting the award, the John Jones Award. And then the second group that is also getting this award, the second group, these motherfuckers, them. Spectrum. Why y'all had Nelly's internet looking so crappy, man? Come on, man. It was looking like a Genesis game. Come on, man. It was freezing out, lag. Come on, Spectrum. Y'all know y'all got higher internet up there. In Lake St. Louis, it's money on Lake St. Louis. You mean to tell me they ain't got no faster internet out there?
Hold on.
Maybe at AT&T. We don't know.
Man, so I'll tell you this. My parents live out in Troy, Missouri, and yeah, they ain't got no internet out there.
Here, hold on.
They just got internet out there in like 2012, bro. Like at least it seemed like they just got internet out there, man. It's bad. It's bad.
Internet packages on here, y'all. They had Nelly looking real bad. I know they got the upload speed, download speed. It's got to be fast. In Lake St. Louis,
they sure as
maybe it was because it was like over 300,000 people watching. I don't know what it was, but the internet was trash.
They sure as hell ain't got no fiber out there. I'll tell you that much.
Well, there was a quote that I saw on there. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know, these singers and rappers and stuff, yeah, they got more money than me, but my internet sure as hell faster than theirs.
Hey, that's legit though. That's legit. If there's one thing that Versus has taught any of us, see, I think that's the thing. Like, that's the thing why social media is run by the people, because these celebrities out here, that's why celebrities can only make like 1-2 posts a day. Because they out there, they put a picture on Instagram and that motherfucker load for 30 minutes. It's spinning.
Yeah, man. So CZW, your owner, Nelly's playlist. Nelly, sir, God, I never thought I had to give you the award. And Spectrum, or whatever your internet was, it's going to be Spectrum. You all get the John Jones Memorial Freedom Award. And it's coming with the commemorative plaque and a $15 gas card. Quick Trip.
But only the Quick Trip. If your ass ain't got, let's say CZW ain't got no Quick Trips where they run shows at, tough titty, nigga. Tough titty. Whoa! We welcome y'all for listening. Oh wait, hold on. We got one more. Oh wait, hold on. Wait. Yeah. Before we get out of here. Before we get out of here,
two things. Before we get, we know who's getting the I'm Black Y'all segment.
Exactly.
We know who.
Absolutely.
Mr. Gaspard in there. No,
yep.
Spoiler alert. But we got a pay-per-view this weekend, right?
We do got a pay-per-view this week. I forgot. It was a go-home show this last time. It's a go-home show this time, too, man. We got AEW Double or Nothing coming up this weekend.
Go down the card, sir.
Yes, sir. We got to go down that card right quick. I think the card just got solidified on Wednesday. We're recording this on Thursday, so I think the card solidified yesterday. Yep. So we got one of the big things that we got. So we have the inaugural AEW TNT Championship that's going to be they're going to have the first champion that's going to win that. And the match is between Cody with Arn Anderson and Brandy Rhodes versus Lance Archer. Now get this. The title will be presented by none other than Iron Mike Tyson.
Ooh, boy.
AEW pulling out these stops, bruh.
Yeah, they are, man. That is definitely a punch to WWE right there. And shout out to Mike Tyson, man, getting in shape. Possible comeback.
Man, I don't want to see Mike get back out here, man.
No,
Mike still got it, but he ain't still got it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like these young boys. It's old man strength and all that, but these young boys box a lot better than some of the older cats.
It would literally be exactly how it was with Tyson in the 90s, except shorter. You had to get Mike Tyson ass to them late rounds. If Mike Tyson get your ass out of there between 2 to 3, he winning.
Yep.
Once he get to 4 later, he in trouble. So he's 50-something years old now.
Yep.
Take that by half.
Yep.
If he don't knock the person out by the second round, his ass in trouble.
You gotta just stop it. Like as soon as round 2 end, just somebody from his corner throwing the towel. Like we done. We good. He might not have took a punch, but they were like, nope. It's over. But who you got, Cody or Lance Archer in that match?
Oh man, you know Cody winning gonna book himself winning that damn belt. Man, this is coming.
Well, Cody booked himself up, like he booked himself into never being able to challenge for the world championship ever again.
So you gotta have something. That's
true. You gotta have something. TV champion is it. The TNT championship.
Yeah, he gonna be the TNT champion. First ever.
All right, so the next match we got Maxwell Jacob Friedman, my boy, MJF with his bodyguard Wardlow versus Jungle Boy Jack Perry in a singles match. Who you got in that one?
Give me MJF, man. I like what he's doing, man. I know he's like, I don't want to say that because I feel like it's disrespecting him if I say he's like their version of the Miz. But he has a lot of Miz tendencies, heel Miz tendencies. But he's he's doing his own flavor to it. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, and MJF is another cat that's like super young and still making his way. He's not out here, poking 300, 400-pound bears and challenging their blackness or anything, Lio Rush. He's out here doing his thing. But, I agree with you. I like Jungle Boy Jack Perry. I think that, MJF is going to probably cheat to win, have Wardlow interfere or something like that. It won't be clean, but he'll go over. So,
hey, Lio Rush, apologize to that man, dog. Stop. Just stop, man. Stop while you ahead. You digging yourself. You write your ass a check. Your ass can't cash, man.
Not at all.
That's some smoke. You don't want.
All right, so we got, I'm pretty sure these matches are all out of order, but the third match that we have listed here is Jon Moxley, AEW World Champion Jon Moxley versus the Exalted One of the Dark Order, Brody Lee, formerly Luke Harper in WWE. Who you got in that match?
Okay, so I want Brody Lee to win because he's hot. Hot. I mean, dude, the promos he's doing, everything they're doing in that program, like everything makes sense for him to be champion. And I feel like if he's champion, he's going to have that title for a while. I mean, you got a huge ass stable with people wearing masks, and they got number. Like I feel like the number, like his number one right hand man, who's that? I think it's supposed to be 10. It is supposed to be John Cena.
Oh, I think it is. It's
supposed to be like John Cena. That's this guy.
I think so. Yeah, I think that is. Which I love it. I mean, I'm going to say this. I called it when he first came in that he's Vince McMahon.
You called it.
But hey, you know what I'm saying? I just know what I'm talking about sometimes. But I'm going to actually go with Jon Moxley. I think Jon Moxley's going to win the match. I think they're going to like beat the dog shit out of each other for real. And I think we're going to end up getting Jon Moxley like inching out, or no, I take that back. I'm going to say Jon Moxley by disqualification. And I'm going to say they keep the program going because the Dark Order is going to interfere.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Yep. All right. So the next thing we got now, this is going to be a dope one. So we got the Casino ladder match for future AEW World Championship. And the folks in there are Darby Allin, Colt Cabana, my dude Orange Cassidy, Ray Phoenix, Scorpio Sky, Kip Sabian, Frankie Kazarian, Luchasaurus, and somebody still to be announced.
Uh-oh. So we got a mystery guy.
We got a mystery guy.
You want a mystery guy winning? You don't even know who it is.
Because you know the mystery guy going to be somebody that left WWE.
Yeah.
Or got fired.
Yeah. I wonder who. Like,
I don't know.
Like who it could be that can hang with them. Because it's gonna be a bunch of flipping and flopping and dodging and dipping in that damn match too. I know somebody gonna be flipping off a fucking ladder and do a corkscrew DDT through a damn table. I know that's what we gonna see. But whoever is the mystery guy's winning. That's it.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna just totally throw a wild card in here. I'm gonna say Orange Cassidy gonna win.
Okay.
And how Orange Cassidy wins a ladder match is going to be Orange Cassidy in a ladder match in general is going to be interesting as hell. Because think about how cats slowly climb up the ladder when they hurt. This nigga slowly climb up the ladder when he not hurt. What is he gonna look like 20 minutes into the match trying to climb that ladder?
He's gonna be the only dude I've ever seen climb a ladder without using his hand.
Oh, that's a good point. That is a good point. He gonna have his hand in his pocket climbing up the ladder. And somehow he's gonna snatch the contract or whatever with his hand still in his pocket.
Yeah, he gotta use his hands. How you gonna grab the contract? Oh, this is interesting. I can't wait. AEW gonna do some crazy shit.
Yup. All right, so the next match we got AEW Women's Champion Nyla Rose versus Hikaru Shida in a no DQ, no countout match for the AEW Women's Championship. Who you got in that one?
Give me Nyla Rose.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna say Nyla Rose too. Hikaru Shida, she's hot right now, but Nyla Rose gonna beat her ass. I'm sorry, she gonna beat her ass.
Dude, it's like poking you 185 pounds, you poking somebody who 385 pounds, man. You just don't do that shit. You don't do that. Rush. Don't be in a rush to get your ass beat.
Oh man. So the next match we got another women's match. We got Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, legit dentist, literally. Yes, literally, you can look her up. Her dental practice is in my insurance network. I looked it up. That's the craziest shit. But she's fighting Chris Statlander in just a singles match. Who you got in that one?
Go with the dentist.
Yep. I'm going with Dr. Britt Baker as well. She gonna rip her teeth out or some shit. So we got the next match. We got a tag team match to determine number one contender for the World Tag Team Championship. We got Private Party, Isaiah Cassidy, and Mark Quinn versus best friends Chuck Taylor and Trent. Who you got in that one?
I like Private Party, man. There's just another they're kind of like Street Profits to me. But I'm going with Private Party.
Yeah, I think I'm going with Private Party too. They're I feel like they're a younger, kind of less refined Street Profits. But I think when they find their niche, I'll say this. Give me 5 years, Private Party versus Street Profits is going to be like one of those dream matches that we're going to want to see. And we might end up seeing eventually.
Yep, we might. Never know.
So we got one more singles match before the main, or I'm going to consider the next thing the main event. But we got Dustin Rhodes versus Shawn Spears, the chairman of AEW. Who we got?
Oh, man. I'm going to go with Shawn Spears. They're gonna make Dustin look strong, but I really think he's there to kind of help put over. You got to make wrestling needs stars now. You need stars, as many stars as you can make. And Dustin Rhodes is just timeless, man. This dude was wrestling when I was like 3. You know?
Yep.
top level. Like, and he's still doing it. And he's in the best shape he's ever been in his career.
Yep.
He's still going after it. But he knows what his purpose is there for, and he's going to help get the new guys over. I'll be shocked if he wins, but I'm going with the other dude.
Yep, I'm going with Shawn Spears as well, man. Like he's on a good run, definitely a dope heel run. He already got the backstory of being the chairman and smashing Dustin Rhodes' brother over the head with a chair. So you got that emotional aspect to it. I think it's going to be a really, really dope match. It's just a singles match, but I think that might be one of the sleeper matches of the night, for real, for real. I think we have a lot of flashy matches, but I think this one's going to be that real, like not really emotional, but that real like wrestling match that you see that you're gonna be like, you know what, that was really dope when I think back about it. Mm-hmm. So last match we got on the card, and I'm gonna call it the main event because of the who's in it. But we have Matt Hardy and the Elite, who are Kenny Omega, Hangman Page, Matt Jackson, and Nick Jackson, versus the Inner Circle, Chris Jericho, Jake Hager, Sammy Guevara, my boy Santana and Ortiz, Proud and Powerful, in a stadium stampede match.
Dude, that match is just gonna be epic, man.
Yeah.
I literally don't. I couldn't give you a guess which team is gonna win, man. Dude, like the chemistry of all of those guys, man, it's just gonna be crazy. Like, I've never seen a so equal balanced team in my life.
Yes, yeah.
It's I don't know. It's gonna be great television. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this. Matt Hardy is gonna be out for blood because the Inner Circle killed Vanguard 1.
Vanguard 1, man. They beat the shit out of Matt.
They beat the shit out of Matt Hardy drone, and he gonna be mad.
Come on, man. Why y'all do that? Y'all know damn well his extended warranty for that motherfucker was over with. Now you gotta go get another Vanguard 2.
I ain't gotta get a Vanguard 2. That don't even fit. It was Matt Hardy version with a Vanguard one. That don't even fit.
Why do y'all do that to Vanguard? What Vanguard do to you, Chris Jericho? Because he enjoying your stupid Inner Circle, huh? Because he wouldn't wear your stupid shirt, huh? Is that what he did?
Man, get a little nigga his ball back. All right, so that's double or nothing, man.
Take it.
I got my own money. I can buy my own ball.
Thanks, cuz.
So that is Double or Nothing. That will be coming on Saturday, May 23rd, live on pay-per-view or wherever you find that shit. So without further ado, before we get out of here, man, we have the I'm Black Y'all segment, and as Rated R said before, you already know who we giving it to. We gotta make sure that we give another cheers out to the lifetime of the man Shad Gaspard before we get out of here. So, born in Brooklyn, New York on January 13, 1981, Gaspard was of Haitian and Quark. I don't know how to say that, but he's of multiple descents. Let me say that. Okay. His father, Ben Gaspard, was a former enforcer for street gangs and then a personal security guard in the 1970s. He worked as a gangster for Frank Lucas and currently owns McKay Contracting. Time out.
Whoa.
Time out.
Yeah.
I ain't know Shad Daddy was out here working for Frank Lucas. See, that's why Shad was the man that he was.
Right.
Because he lived by a code. His daddy worked for Frank Lucas. He lived by a code, man. That speaks virtues of what that was, man.
Yep.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
At age 5, Shad was trained by his father in boxing, and at age 8, he began training a mixture of different martial arts such as judo, jeet kune do, kickboxing, and Muay Thai. As a student, Gaspard quickly developed into an aggressive fighter, winning many fight tournaments as an amateur. His mother gave him the nickname Beast as a result of his aggressiveness. Right on. At age 16, Gaspard began prize fighting for promoter Hardbody Harrison, a former world championship wrestler, WCW wrestler and FX Tough Man champion in bar fighting tournaments such as boxing, kickboxing, MMA, and Tough Man competitions. Even though Gaspard was only 16 years old, he competed against adults who were older than him by 5 to 20 years due to his size. Man, he holds a win-loss record. Wow, get this. Holds a win-loss record as a no-holds-bar fighter, 35-7.
Damn. So he's beating motherfuckers' asses.
He was beating motherfuckers' ass out here. And as an amateur boxer, 57-26. Yeah, so he extensively was involved in athletics in high school years, specialized in wrestling, track, and basketball. After high school, he continued to play basketball at Georgia Perimeter College. After leaving, he became a bodyguard for several rappers and actors, including Britney Spears, Puff Daddy, and Mike Tyson. You a bad motherfucker if you Mike Tyson bodyguard.
Hell yeah.
Listen, bruh. Come on, man. So he decided to become a professional wrestler, qualified for the finals of Tough Enough 2 in 2002, but was disqualified and replaced after failing the physical. After Tough Enough, Gaspard was recruited by WWF talent star Tom Pritchard and allowed to attempt a full-time career as a professional wrestler. He started training with Sergeant Dwayne Bruce from the WCW power plant for 6 months. Afterwards, he attended Pritchard's first OVW training camp, after which he was offered an opportunity to train full-time. The rest of that is history. In 2006, he debuted with the Neighborhoodie, also known as JTG, and they formed a tag team called the Gangstars in OVW. So they fought CM Punk. They feuded with him for a while. But
did he ever do anything with New Jack?
I don't think he did anything with New Jack. It don't say he did anything with New Jack. But I wouldn't be surprised if he did. But soon after that, they were brought up to WWE Raw as Crime Time. And they got various segments. We'll probably play one of the segments at the end of here. But
yes, sir.
Those brothers did their thing. It's Crime Time. Spent time in WWE. And after that, worked the indies as Crime Time as well. Yep. So shout out, cheers, and rest in peace to the late, the great, good brother, really, really good brother, Shad Gaspard.
Rest in peace, Shad, man.
Yes, sir. All right, man. Well, we thank you for joining us for another edition of the We Coming For You cast. I am RVS. You can find me on social media, Instagram, Twitter, at Franchice06, FRANCHICE06. Hit me up on Facebook at VRVS Book. You can find what we talking about for We Coming For You cast there. And Rated R, tell them where you can find you at.
You can find me on all social media platforms at R8TD_R. And again, this is the We Coming For You cast. You can also hit us up on our website at ProWrestlingBlack.org.
Also, if you have any questions, hit us up. We Coming For You cast at gmail.com or hit us up on Twitter at WCFYcast.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that was a doozy. All right, man. Well, we'll holler at y'all next time. Thanks for joining us. And make sure y'all stay tuned to the SOLC Network.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Holler at y'all.
Look at that smile. One of these days, MVP is going to wipe that smile off your face, Teddy. Where's that woman that's supposed to be here?
Yo! What's really hood, Chad? Tell him what's hood.
Hey, yo, V-Mac, yo.
V-Mac.
Yeah, you know, V-Mac, yo. Hey, yo, we were just thinking, we know you're trying to find out who your son is and everything, and we was thinking, it could be one of us. Now, I know what you're thinking, but yo, we have a lot in common. Cause yo, we like to make that money. Yeah. Of 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 that money. Come on. Money. Yeah. Come on, money. Yeah. Come on.